Alright, so here my name's Dallas and I'm gonna do 1 and 2 right here. Fully functioning web template, just a free template from the web. So what you do, you go into Azure, and I already set one up, and I named ours Maverick Management 459. Our URL is mavericks.hockey.mavericks.buzz. And here's a template that we have downloaded and we've used. You can go services. This is just a free template that I got off of Google, and I used Azure to do it. So that is answers number 1. And for 2, set up and demo continuous deployment of your website synced to your Dropbox account. So you're going to go into Azure. I'm going to click home here. Click on create a resource. And when I do that, I'm going to hit web app. And then, so this is our basic Azure description. And then in this one, your resource group, I'm going to click management 459, demo, RG, web app name. You can put in there whatever you want. So just put HHHH. And then for your routine or runtime stack, you're going to use ASAP net, and then Central US, and then you're going to hit review and create, and then you hit create, and this will bring you, takes a minute to run. So now you have your overview, and now I'm going to go back to the Maverick Management 459, and in my deployment center, I already did this with mine, but in the deployment center, you're going to hit deploy center, and I'm just going to disconnect this right now. I'm going to hit browse. Shoot. Okay, so now that I disconnected, you hit the deployment center, and you can use any of these options, but I already uploaded my Dropbox to here. You hit continue. It's going under that Maverick Management 459 folder. It automatically found that for me. And then you see this folder that it creates in my Dropbox. Finish, and then I would take my folder from my recents, go into here, go into that, and then you just copy one command, all of these in here, and you drag them into the folder. Then when you make changes in there, you just hit sync, and this will check with inside your Dropbox and see if you have any changes.
Hey there, John. I got number 3 here. That is a lie based on your company domain name. So to start that one off, I'm gonna go to Azure, go to App Services, go up to ours that we have made. Let's create a custom domain. Go to custom domains there. Click add custom domain. Then enter the custom domain I want. So I'll do hockey.mavericks.buzz. I'll click validate, and it shows down here. Remove this. I need to create a CNAME. So now copy this, go over to GoDaddy where I can create a CNAME, click add, CNAME, host will be hockey, points to that link we copied, click save, you can see it's right here, and we'll go back to Azure, and then see if we did this correctly by clicking validate. And then as you can see down here, it says these two have the two green check marks, so that means it went well. And then you can click add custom domain to finalize it. Then as you can see over here, it is completed and it's under your assigned custom domains. Okay, so for number 4, here it says what is scaling up versus scaling out of a web app. Enable auto scaling out based on CPU percentage. So the first part of this question is what is scaling up versus scaling out a web app. To explain this, I'll pull up the Microsoft Azure right here. And as you can see down here, here is scaling up and scaling out for the web app. I'll just be clicking around right here while I describe these. Scaling out is something that Microsoft gives the user options to scale up by purchasing a larger service platform that will help run your web app and gives yourself more memory at a higher cost. This basic one right here is the S1. It's the least expensive and the least amount of memory available, and then upgrading to P1v2 or P2v2 and upward. Those will allow you to have more space for your web app, but it'll also be a little bit more expensive. For the scaling out process, it's a little more sophisticated than the scaling up process. So scaling out here, this is a service plan that is much more sophisticated, as I said earlier. And scaling out allows the user to make their computing environment more adaptive. It has specifically 2 different modes. The first mode is this one right here, manual scale. Manual scale allows the user to control the amount of transactions computed in a specific time. So that's a little bit more advanced than scaling up. Allows you to have however many transactions you want given during a time for your business. Next, which is even more sophisticated than the manual scale, is the custom auto scale. This is much more adaptive for the user, and it has the capabilities to make rules that Azure will follow to create and destroy new instances for your web app based on what your business needs. So you're able to tell Azure what to do with what you want, and depending on like how many instances you want during specific busier hours or busier times, this will be able to allow your business to um, comply with its needs. Okay, and then for the second part of number 4, it says to enable auto scaling out based on a CPU percentage. So we'll head over to the Microsoft Azure dashboard, go back to app services, kind of our Maverick one. Scroll down here to you can see scaling up and scaling out. We're going to want scaling out in this instance. Wait for that to load. Click custom auto scale. That'll get us to where we can create our own rule. Head down here to add a rule. And we're going to look right here and make sure it's on CPU percentage, and it is. You can see all these options. You have CPU percentage right here, and that's one it asks for specifically. And then you can see where all these durations you can type in to customize it to your liking. You can instance count or cool down the minutes right here, or increase or decrease the count here. We'll leave it at increase and click add. and you can see that it is right here. And then to finish, we'll click save. And then it says up here that it was successfully updated and saved. And that's to it.
Alrighty, so today we're going to show you how to install and configure the Edition apps from the marketplace as well as demo the app. So to start out here, you want to make sure you're at the home page of your portal, and from there you want to go to the marketplace. On the different categories today, we're going to use media as our example, and we're going to download this media services application designed by Microsoft right here. You want to create, and from there make an account name. And we're going to use our current subscription as well as an existing resource group here. Location, we want Central US as it's closest to us and will make the most sense for those using this. For our storage account, we're going to use this right here. We're going to go ahead and create that service. You can see we're going to go to the resource, and then this is the same idea as any other streaming source, such as MediaSpace, that is used by MSU. So to make it our own, we're going to go to encoding here, and if we want to upload a video, for example, to make it our own, we would select upload here, and from there you would just go and find anything media related, videos, music, anything you'd want to stream.